moment that I am proud of, I performed at Westminster Abbey in November 2024. When I was there, it was a big audience, and I did a poem about like how I don't come from like being rich, and I don't come from like where you guys come from, because I knew what type of audience would be there at the Abbey on a weekday. I'm like, I know whose faces I'm going to be looking at, and I'm going to speak to them. But I was just like, no, like I really am just me right now. And that night I was really proud of myself.
Welcome to Apples and Snakes, the podcast. I'm your host, Yomi, and it's an absolute honor to introduce my guest for today's episode, the one and only Birmingham's very own Zakariye, aka Zaki. What is going on, my guy?
Thank you for the intro, man. Yeah, things are good. I'm good. We're good. Are we good?
We are absolutely good. I must preface this to the people. Zaki's always waiting like I'm gonna like do something spontaneous to just kind of like
don't start like
throw him off. But we're not. This is. I hold Zaki very close to my heart. I do. Which for the most part is probably why I just get on him as much as I do. Do you know what I mean? But it's good to speak to you, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
How was your journey?
Journey was great. Very simple. I come up to London. I've been doing it a while now, so I don't get lost like how I used to. So it's nice. It's chill. It's a nice place when you're just visiting.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't want to make it sound too comfortable because the people them are just like, yo, what's this? How you sounding?
Living here and visiting here are two very different things. I've never lived here, but just the energy that I feel when I'm here, I'm like, this is good for now. Like if I had to do this continually, like it would, no. So sorry.
No, not at all. Before we get into anything, I always like to kind of open up just the space that we're in, how we're feeling. Congratulations on the news of your body of work that we're expecting at some point soon.
Thank you.
How, as a creative, how have you found your 2024?
2024.
Yeah, how did you find your 2024? How was that process for you?
Yeah, that was, I compared January 2024 to December 2024. And they are two completely different months where I was 6 months into freelancing in January 2024. Still finding my feet, a lot of free time, no schedule, just meetings all over the place, trying to get something started. No news of anything, no projects. I think I was in the Roundhouse collective, which kept me going once a week, coming to London, working with Cecilia Knapp, and all these amazing writers every week. That was like the one constant thing that I had that was like, this is something.
Yeah.
Like, weekly, I'm going here, I'm meeting writers, I'm working on stuff. And then, just the news of my body of work being accepted, having a pamphlet coming out the following year, so this year now, thank you. Becoming a Roundhouse resident artist, becoming a Hippodrome Origins member. Like all of these things happened in 2024. I'm sure there's like a couple more things. My memory's just really bad. But
Arvon, I mean, come on.
That was, So,
and the one, Diana Roger.
And you and Diana Rogers, which is an amazing pair. We could talk about that for like 2 hours.
Proper. So for the most part, you had a 2024 that's kind of led you into what we're kind of going into with this year, right?
Yeah.
And it's exciting, and it'll be good to talk about that body of work, as well as the theme of the season, which is around performance. You've got your own work to read for us, as well as a poem from another poet that we're going to kind of look into and discuss as well, and what have you. When you kind of, I was cracking some jokes before we started recording. I'm just kind of like, I'm a bit long in the tooth-ish in this now. The greys in my hair are doing what they're doing. They're flexing a different kind of muscle. They were holding a patch here that I thought that was nice. And now I'm starting to see, I'm like, what do you mean you're going to the sideburn? What are you talking about out here? What are you doing? We had a conversation, we got a rule. But I say this to say that I don't necessarily attend as many nights as I used to. So that kind of, the vibrancy, I miss that energy. And I'm just like, in a way, in speaking with you, I'm sensing I want to get some of that energy and I want to get some of that vibrancy. So I wouldn't necessarily say you're emerging in that sense, right? But I would definitely say that you are definitely in the mix of the next gen poets that are doing their thing. What is that vibrancy like right now? What is it? What am I missing?
Nah, you're not.
What is going on? Don't tell me. No.
You can't
do that. There's no way you can say that I've been there, I've done that. No, like probably, but I think it's different now. Like we're in a new kind of situation. Social media is doing what social media is doing. Podcasting, we're talking about poetry. So the way we access poetry is different.
True.
And for that situation in itself, surely there must be something different in that sense that you're just like, yes, social media was popping at certain points within when I was kind of doing my thing. Still am doing my thing, but it's completely different now. So literally, what am I missing out here?
I'll be honest, I don't think I'm the person to answer that, you know. Like I think social media, like I'm not the most social person at all.
Right.
I don't lean into it that much. I am trying to improve it this year, but I said that last year and, you know, I know that it's not something that I'm trying to force myself to sort of do. I think writing is always going to be the number one important thing. Like social media and numbers and views and all of that is great, but like if you're not putting in the work to yourself, like, you know, the outcome's not going to be great.
The joke is the way you said that, it feels so like
profound
media stuff. But I genuinely know that's you.
That's genuinely me. Yeah, I'm not media trained at all. That was genuinely, that's exactly who I am.
But the joke is, I think what makes that refreshing is at a time where a lot of people are driven by what they see online and by the amount of engagement and having this work and content and everything.
Yeah.
And this is the only time I want to necessarily focus around just age and stuff and gen. For you to say, you know what, actually all of that stuff is definitely apparent, but I want to break it and just want to go right to the basics of just writing and engaging with my writing and not necessarily just get in the mix of this current kind of social media stuff, the TikToks and what have you, because that can send me somewhere else. I kind of like the fundamentals of just writing, reading the odd pamphlet collection here and there, and engaging in a different way.
Absolutely. But I also want to say, like, it's not that I'm like, you know, not using it at all. And I don't mean to say that to sound like I'm better or I'm like, I don't need it or like I'm trying to escape the man and do my own thing. Like, it's not that. It's just, I've spent a long time thinking about who I am, what it feels like to me, what I want to do. And there's this thing, because I have a lot of meetings with people because I just like to talk. And there's always, the conversation always goes back to like how slow I like to take things. I have been doing this for 2018 until 2025. What's that? It will be my 7th year this year, which does feel like a long time, but that's so fine with me. And it's like, to be called emerging, to be called whatever, to me, it's no sweat. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I know how I feel. I kind of know where I want to go. I don't need to know the exact steps, but I know my next ones and I'm just chilling. And it's very much like a line that goes gradually up because people naturally, they want to go up as quickly as they want, as quickly as they can. And then you can come down very quickly as well. And I think that gradual build, relaxing into things, chilling out, having fun, smiling, like that for me is the bag. Like that's cool.
Do you recall the book that caught your attention when you were younger? Like, a book. Do you recall the book that caught your attention when you were younger, where you're just like, oh, this is funny, this is interesting, I like where this is going? Yes. And also, do you recall the first story that you like wrote?
Yes, both. That's a great question.
Awesome. Let's rock and roll.
So I remember I was in detention in year 7.
Yeah.
And I came back into class and there were these books on the table. And by the time I'd sat down, like everyone had taken all these books. So I'm like, I gotta get back up. And I go to the table, there's one book left. It's called Missing by, I believe, Kathy McPhail. Could be wrong. But just remember seeing it there. The cover, I can't lie, it's dead. It's a dead cover. That's why it was the last one. And I'm like, what is this? It's like a girl wearing like a beanie or something. I'm like, what is going on? And I pick it up and I read the blurb and it's like, oh, you know, I think like their sibling goes missing. Yeah. And it's like this journey of like her trying to figure out how to find them. And I'm like, wait, what? This is cool, you know? And so I'm like reading at break time and my friends are like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, nah, just, you know, relax, lads. Like, I'm just reading or whatever. And I finished that book that day and I was like, wow. And I went to the library and I got all of our other books and they're all like similar young teen, like weird thriller type stuff. And I devoured them and I was like, reading is cool, man. We used to have this thing called accelerated reader. And he used to like count points for you. It's like if you read a book, you log it, you do a questionnaire for it, and you get a point system. I was at the bottom. In the next week, I was at the top. And I was like, wow. I'm like, this is working. And I'm a bit mad at it, and I'm hiding it, but I'm like, this is sick, man. Do it. And then the first story was this thing that I still think about till today. I had this idea called Funny Luck.
Funny Luck.
Funny Luck.
Yeah.
And it's about this kid who's got really bad luck. And the first half of the story is about him getting into so much trouble. Everything he touches, bad luck. He's walking, his foot gets stuck in a bin. He's running to school, fly goes in his mouth. He's swallowed like 3 flies on the way to school. This guy is the most unluckiest guy in the world. Then something happens, I can't remember. Actually, I think I skipped it. I'm like, I'm going to figure out something that happens, but I'm going to carry on. Yeah. Something happens where his luck switches and he gets the best luck. And it's just like how his mind changes from how he felt when he had the baddest luck in the world and then the best luck in the world. And you see this journey of him sort of about acceptance and being like, life is going to be life regardless of whatever happens. So, yeah.
I'm keen to, as I suppose as we go into our discussions, and we've had like one-to-ones looking into poems and stuff and discussing before, how much of the you bring into the work. I know from that story that you wrote that you just talked about now, like I don't necessarily feel like you've been through all bad luck and then you kind of change your been into all this luck. But I can't help but not think about you when I think about the person that you're describing as well.
Okay. Yeah.
But I want to stay with that because I feel like there's pieces of writing that you do that still pertains to you, but then sometimes you're just like, all right, cool. I know the space I want to hold and how much emotion I want to kind of put into this, which is why I'm actually equally just as excited in talking to you about performance and talking about this as a whole, you know? You have brought a poem to share. And interesting, we could have been lucky enough to get 2 poems, but we're going to have this one poem that you want to share, right?
Just the one.
I would like to know about the initial poem you thought about bringing before we get into this one. And then if you don't mind reading this poem as well. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. The poem that I was thinking to bring, which is called Pulling Faces, which is the title of my pamphlet. You can buy it when it comes out.
I know, you looked at the camera.
I couldn't help myself. No, it's so cringy. I couldn't help but do it.
It's not even like he looked, it was a side eye, yo, bro. Like,
it's the whole thing. All right. Okay. That's going to live forever, you know. That's done now. Anyway.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, cool.
Composure. Hold composure. Do you think? Go on.
Oh, man. It's called the poem. So the whole collection will be called Pulling Faces, and there's a poem in there.
But publisher?
Publisher Bad Betty. Little Betty for the pamphlets.
Hold tight, Little
Betty. They're great. Hold tight, Vanessa Kasule, man. Like, amazing.
Editing the work also.
She's so nice.
Big up.
There's a poem in there called Pulling Faces. And it's sort of, the whole collection is about faces, really. And the idea of pulling faces as a kid is a fun thing to do. And then as you get older, sometimes you have this feeling where you just want to pull your own face off. So it's like this juxtaposition of like young kids pulling faces versus older people now, sort of just like, sometimes I don't even want to look at my face. And it's this weird thing that I'm sort of diving into. The poem itself is about, my younger face and and comparing it to my grandma's face.
Interesting.
And about like how she has, you know, or like not her necessarily. I just think that like people from like where I'm from, it's like skin conditions are, I don't know how to say it, but they're more prevalent. So it's like melasma, hyperpigmentation, all of these things. So you can kind of see that on older people's faces. And I'm like, that's going to be me one day. And I wonder if I'll have the same marks in the same places. So yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet poem.
And I suppose people will have the opportunity to read that when it's time. The poem that you bought to share with us, would you mind? Actually, can you read it first?
Absolutely, I can.
It is called. Yeah. If you can read it. Title. Title, and then do your thing. Yeah.
I will do my thing. Thank you. Title. Chat to a man. Context. No context. Chat to a man protected by grandparents' prayers every time his foot lands on ground that isn't his. Chat to a man who can stretch a 20 note for so long you would swear there is a zero missing. Chat to a man covered in his religion from head to toe, you'd think he's the personification of holy. Chat to a man ruined by the system so much so his failed applications are scrunched into doorstops. Chat to a man so far down the pecking order you couldn't see his success with a thorough telescope. Chat to a man secure in his life with no flashy cars or anything sparkling except the glint in his eyes. Chat to a man super invested in his kids' lives that he'll never see the inside of an old people's home. Chat to a man chatting to the other man around the block about how to better serve their community. Chat to a man soaked in poverty that his pockets can't hold the little wealth that find their way there. Chat to a man that says them way there about any hindrance, be it bereavements or the football score. Chat to a man whose life you couldn't picture living for more than a day without craving a long chat. Chat to a man, and I mean really chat to him. Don't just sit there waiting for your turn to talk. I mean, chat to a man with your utmost respect present at all times, logging every word he says on the world. Chat to a man like he's worth more than the time you're sparing because he is and you're not all that. Chat to a man respectfully. Like say he isn't going about life pretending as though it's fair and square.
Thank you for sharing that. I am introducing an element of this discussion called the crunch.
Okay.
Because we're gonna crunch in the poem.
We need like a theme song there, like a little the crunch. There needs to be a little.
I swear, I'm so gassed for this moment.
Yeah.
Every single time, because everyone has a different reaction, and I always react differently to it all the time. Before I get into the poem, I would like to talk about tonality, and you are a really special case, Zaki.
Cool.
Because tonality is something that I am very aware of and I use a lot in whenever I deliver a poem or like kind of recite or what have you. I actually feel in my heart of hearts that there is a bar of tone that you peak at and you don't go beyond.
Okay. You said this to me before as well.
I've said it to you before. And I'm like, oh, is it an actual... And I want to talk about that even more because you, even at that tone, at the height of heights, I can't... It's got to a point now that I can't imagine you going higher than that. And that is interesting because I actually feel like you could go higher than that. But it's a decision that you actually keep it there, pitch-wise, but also I sense the intensity in the speed and the pacing of how you read that.
Okay.
I want to know about these intentions more and these decisions that you make when it comes to the performance of the poem. Like, what goes through your head in terms of what dictates that to be read at that pace versus like a slower pace type thing?
Okay, that's a great question. Oh, I feel
chat to me.
I feel
chat
like
to a man.
Oh man, that question's so much better than what my answer's going to be.
Chat to man.
Oh, you did.
Chat.
That was going to go over my head as well.
Much.
Oh,
Wicked.
sorry,
Safe.
man. Good.
Safe.
We need like applause.
Safe.
Okay. Thank you. Now that both of us live on the internet forever for that. Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, that the speed, I don't know. I do know because I have to say it now, but it's this poem, I feel like I wrote it with a smile. I wrote it, it's a happy poem. It's a reminder poem. It's bringing light people who you don't think about poem. And that to me means that like the speed needs to like hit you, you know? It needs to, I don't know, do something that other poems don't do. It's not slow, somber. I'm not here to sort of like, I don't know, pity a certain type of person. I'm here to just let you know like, yo, these people exist and they are like this and that's it. And you take it or you leave it. But you either give them time or you don't, and that's up to you.
Yeah.
And I think it just is, it is what it is. I know you hate that phrase, sorry.
It's not like I hate. I'm just like, this is...
God, I said that to you one time.
No, it is, I get what you mean. Like, this is just, there's nothing more, nothing less. This is just it, right? Yeah. Like, this is the speed that it's calling for and done. Your decisions in terms of how you perform the poem, though, that is an intention. That's a thing and it's not even much different to how you speak. Because you don't necessarily get higher or lower. You're just very present in your tone. It's like, this is how I am. This is, and I'm not necessarily shifting that. Like, do you mind talking about that a bit?
We can. Someone the other day said, I'm soft-spoken. And I was like,
I hear it.
Yeah? Okay, I don't know. I mean, I think if like to my friends, if you said to them, oh, you know, Zaki's soft-spoken, they'd be like, who are you on about here? Are you on about...
So what? Are you telling me?
Know. I have no idea. I just don't think
your boys, like... I don't know. Folks,
I don't think about my voice. I have no idea.
So your people, they can't sense like any kind of aggression in hearing your tone now. Is that what you're saying?
I think in the poetry scene, someone yesterday was saying, what did they say? Yeah, I think they were like, you don't seem aggressive at all or something like that.
Interesting.
And then I was like, yeah, I was questioning, and then I was like, actually, I don't mind that. I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, soft-spoken got me a little bit.
What, as in it through you?
Yeah, because I've never thought about that. Or I've never been told, I've never given that a second thought. So when it comes to poetry and speaking and performance...
I think it's care you put in.
Into the poetry?
I think in your tonality generally, like whenever you're speaking, there's care.
Okay.
Like you're not rushing, you're not rushing or you're not intensely speaking or anything, but there's care in how you're literally thinking or something and you relay a type of information. Which also really comes across when you're reading it.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that. That sounds nice. I'll take that, yeah. Cool. No, yeah.
Let's talk about the poem itself. Chat to a Man. Would you mind talking about the process behind or the thinking behind the title? Please.
Yeah, man. I'm bad with titles. Like the worst titler in the world. So I think this one I just wanted to go for something fun that repeated itself. Chat to a man. I think we just need to chat to more people, honestly. I think when there's a thing that somebody does, I don't want to name them because they don't like to be talked about and praised about, but I'll just mention that like they talk to anyone and everyone. If there was a lorry that was like in the street, so we couldn't walk, right? And they were just talking to the lorry driver like, oh, you're good, man, like you're chilling, don't worry. And I'm like, you don't need to hold that conversation. We can just wait. And the lorry driver was not giving him anything, but he didn't back down. He was like, hope you're a good man. Like he was continuing that conversation and giving him 100%, even when he's given 0% back. And I'm like, that's the mark of such a good person, where even when they're being ignored, and normally you get this fear when that happens. You're like, oh, I looked stupid doing that. They're like, no, they don't feel diminished. They don't feel anything. They're just like, they feel great about it. Yeah, it is what it is. So I think that there was a moment where I was like, this is that person in that poem where they just get on with things and they are like the best of us. And there's something in their brain. They have a different type of chemical where they just move so differently. And it's like, if you chat to that person, you would get the best response and best conversation without even having to know them on any level. And I'm like, that's an experience that a lot of people miss out on just because they don't want to talk to people or they feel bad that day And you can have your days off. You're fine.
And plus the world is what it is. Like you don't necessarily... Safety measures as well, right? True. Like it doesn't necessarily open up as much room to feel like you could freely just say hi to my man or True. Say hi to like this or that person or whatever it is. Because you don't know what could come off the back of it. And I suppose in the poem, was it something again, I'm going to keep on this thing of intentionality in this type of, in knowing situations like that exist. Was there a thought to be like, actually, I want to promote the idea of like, we should actually take more time and speak to each other?
Oh, no, actually. Okay, that was not the poem.
Talk.
The poem, yeah, it wasn't even talking to each other. It was more just like, just don't ignore. I think it's like, don't dismiss. I think a lot of people get dismissed for just being how they are, looking how they are. And that really annoys me. It's like you see someone who's different to you.
And you choose not to engage.
You choose not to engage. And even if and not engaging is still engaging. Like you're purposely not engaging. You're purposely ignoring or turning your cheek. Or, your shoulders kind of go a bit higher and your back straightens. You think you're a bit better than them. You don't want to breathe their air. You get that sense sometimes when you walk into a room. Or you see two people like close to each other. You're like, that person wants nothing to do with the other person. And you can feel the silent, like maliciousness. Maliciousness, is that a word?
I've
said it now.
You said it, own it.
It's too late now. Maliciousness. But you can feel that is what it is. You look in that person's face.
It is.
Maliciousness.
What it is.
It is what it is. The way you say it too, man. I don't want to go off track too much, but do you remember when we had that one session in Arvin? I said that sentence.
No.
You were like, no, but you repeated it back to me. I was like, yeah, man, it is what it is. And you left the room silent for a bit and then you went, it is what it is. And it's like I made a mistake. I was like, oh no, God.
Folks, I like to think that I mentor quite well. If I say it is what it is, I'm giving you room to think about what was just said.
True.
Which we are going to get into.
We are. Because good. I have so much to say about that.
Because while we're here, in this, where do you place yourself in this poem?
Ooh, I'm like the outside person,
Why?
That's a great question.
So let's go for it then.
This is it. Why? It's your tone. It's your tone, When you get hit with the deep, why?
That's because I know, I feel like I know your style of writing. That's why I'm asking this question.
Great.
Because it's interesting as well, because it's that idea of where are we in this poem and the lens in which we're looking at this poem, right? And that's why I asked, are you in this poem or are you the onlooker?
Yeah.
The overseer? Are you kind of watching this unfold?
Yeah, I'm the innocent bystander.
Right.
Like I might catch the guy's eye and be like, oh man, I'm sorry, like the ball's like this. And then he'll give me 2 seconds of like, it's cool. Like a level of understanding, then we just carry on our day. There was a guy that actually was wearing this green jumper that I'm wearing. And I remember... we were in a very white area. Not very, but a white area. And I was like, yeah, man, nice job. Like out of nowhere. I don't really compliment people out loud in the street randomly.
Yeah.
I wish I did it more, but I was just like, nice jumper, man. And then I referenced that I was wearing the same one. And he was like, thank you. And then he realized that I was wearing the same one. And he was like, oh, same. Like, it was 2 seconds of just pure love and like proper human camaraderie. And I think that's what this poem is for. Because that interaction is the opposite of what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Where like I'll give him that moment, knowing that like he'll go into a moment where something not great will happen. And he knows back to me like I will be somewhere where someone will give me a little look or I'll catch them looking and I'll be like, yeah, sick. Or, so. But for this one specifically, I think I was talking about like the older generation who have experienced a lot more than I probably have. And they've kind of paved the way. And so they are way more accustomed to it. And it hits them a little less maybe today. Yeah. Or it might hit them the same way, but they just know how to deal with it better or not. But I just wanted to talk about that moment because I think it deserves attention and understanding.
Before we move, are there any lines that there might be some references that could go over people's heads or Is there any parts in the poem that you're like, you know what I done there was sick.
Oh yes. Oh, great question. Yes.
What I done there was, I don't even know if people are gonna realize what I done there. So what? Yeah, give me one of those.
Yeah. Well, the line, the very last line ends with like, say he isn't going about life pretending as though it's fair and square. And so when you buy the book, you will see the written version, and it is like the margins are perfectly like square, and it's just I love how this poem just looks so clean, and I don't know why I chose for it to look like that. There might be some deep. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. There's probably a reason. There's some sort of innate, maybe.
But it's almost like as you end it, it's almost like in that square image.
Yes.
You could kind of like go around and start again type thing, or you can just see how things could be boxed in. Hey, listen, there's levels.
Listen, there's great levels. Mentor if you want to.
There's levels.
Yeah, true.
But it's good to know. It's good to know that. I want to get into your video or your poet of choice. Before we get into your poet that you've kind of brought for us to have a live reaction to, I want to spend a bit just on performance and what performance means to you. I've seen you perform, and you are quite like, you don't move about the place. You're tall. That is an actual advantage because I'm not tall. But what that does in that height is physically we see you in a space. We can't not see you. You're absolutely present. But in saying that, I'm quite interested to know from the physicality in terms of you being in the space to, as we spoke of, the tonality. Are you very aware of yourself when it comes to performance? Like how serious do you take performance, basically, and what's your relationship with performance?
Yeah, I know. I love performance. Always have. Since year 7, we used to have drama classes in my school. And I used to pretend I didn't like them. But I loved them. And I used to go ham. And since then, I've sort of loved films and acting and the idea of performance. So when it came to poetry, and I'm like, what? People read their poems out loud and they not perform them when they do. Oh, they do. Oh, let me check that out. Let me watch something. Let me see. Let me learn something. Let me write things that I can perform. Let me write these characters. So when I came into poetry, it was very much like I was imagining characters and scenarios and coming up with things and trying to embody them and not do too much. Because on film, the less you do, like on screen, your presence is so felt. So it's like actors are very good at just minimally showing you what's going on. And I kind of took that into my performance where like I didn't need to walk around and throw my hands around. I liked the subtleness of little things. And if you caught it, you caught it. If you didn't,
you didn't.
It's all right. But yeah, the performance element for me has always been a big love of mine.
And to the poet that you chose, and is notable within the UK, and I'm very excited about this poem because it's even in my own kind of early doors in this was a video that and a poem that's kind of stayed with me for a long time. Would you mind introducing the poet and the poem, please?
Absolutely. So the poet is, to be fair, he doesn't call himself a poet anymore, actually. I called him a poet the other day and he's like,
yeah,
I'm an artist.
But for the purpose of this, we're going poet all the way.
You can go poet.
How very... because you got to return to Birmingham.
Yeah, I got to return. Listen, you know what's so funny? We're actually...
I can see it now and he could probably call me to be like, yo, I just saw...
I'm seeing him tomorrow. Or like we work, like we're working in schools like pretty much most days. So he'll be like, listen, did I not tell you I was he will actually like G-check me right before going into a primary school. So like, hey, I'm calling him an artist.
Oh
that's what he wanted me to call him.
Well, when this was done, very much a poet.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think he knew what he was. He says it to me all the time. He's like, I had no idea what I was doing.
I can hear, I can imagine him saying that, and I feel like I hear it. Because sometimes, you know, even with a previous guest, the discussion was around the label of poet. And yet, look, Selena was just rightly was like, oh, poet, like
Yeah.
And I think it's the idea of that kind of claiming, because there's a spirit in you, you're writing, this is what you're doing. Some people absolutely own it. I still have this shaky moment with it. But anyway, to the artist.
Polarbear, Stephen Camden, who is phenomenal. I think he's the best.
And the piece
is called Jessica. In the video, it's actually titled Dumpling. But that's because he didn't have a title. It's just a bit of lore that I found out about him the other day. But yeah, I think it's called Jessica, widely known as Jessica.
Cool. Let's rock and roll.
15, and I'm sparking a joint in the park with the boys, chatting fart, making noise. The girls are on a bench way over there in the distance. To put space between our best means of resistance. It's getting dark and we all want to kiss them, but we don't have a clue what to do, so we just diss them. Too embarrassed to talk it over, then John's like, hold on, somebody's walking over. Oh no, yo, it's two of the girls. Other half of the species confusing our world. If they choose you, it proves you're mature to the world. Fingers crossed in my pocket, foot's moving the dirt. Never sure whether they're going to smile or bite you. They walk right over like they're ready to fight you. They both look at me and say, Jessica likes you. My mind goes numb, my mouth's like, all right, cool. Now let me tell you about Jessica Brown. Every single maths lesson I've been checking her out. There's something in her face makes my chest want to shout, and that freckle by the neck of her blouse, I'm like, wow. Turns out she'd been checking me too. And though I never asked her out, she'd been expecting me to. So just for good measure, extra pressure to boot. Now my penalty's up, but am I ready to shoot? At this point, I know I'm supposed to follow them. And if anyone's got kissing techniques, I want to borrow them. I can't swallow, and the possible horror of tomorrow, if I get it wrong, has got me hollow, I can't breathe. Might it be worse if I run so I can't leave, and I've got no control over the bones in my knees. My friends are egging me on, telling me I can't leg it. If you run now, then you regret it, believe. Next thing I know, we're in the middle of the park. Her friends, my friends, watch from afar. Neither one of us is even sure where to start. The stars are coming out, the whole park's getting dark. She looks at me. My mind goes numb, and I try and fight the urge to just pull her hair and run. Next thing I know, her tongue's touching my tongue, and I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but I'm like, nice one. For some reason, I'm closing my eyes. The whole park melts and we're frozen in time. Her hand's on my shoulder, I'm holding her side, then my hand goes down, slowly strokes her behind. I don't know why, what a joker am I? Oh no, in my mind, something's poking her thigh. It's not how it's supposed to unfold, I won't lie. But she's holding me tight just to show me it's fine. This girl's wicked, and I wish we could kiss forever. I hear my name and I try not to listen. Open my eyes, I'm in the fetal position, on my bed, age 10, not even dreaming of kissing. Even getting into my clothes feels like a mission, but I smell fried dumpling from down in the kitchen. No television in my room like I'm wishing, but there's football to play, to the park's my decision. Mom shouts up, I hope you got your vest on. And even though I know that I don't, I'm like, yes, Mom. I know now it's better never to test Mom. Forget TV detectives, believe she's the best one. I can't stop, Mom, kickoffs at 2. Boy, come back after 7, you catch a lick off my shoe. I smile as I leave, rally burn up the street. 2 dumpling I'm eating too quickly to chew. And now it's 34 all. Steve gets the ball out on the right. Cuts back inside, square ball to John. John goes to turn, the crowd shouts, man on, pass back to Steve, who lets loose a shot you won't believe, top right-hand corner out of goalkeeper's reach. The team goes mad, pile on behind the goal, man, what's the time, 20-9? I'm like, oh. Racking my brain for an excuse. Even though it's no use, I still choose to make one. Mum will take none, but I gotta say something. Close the front door, can still smell the dumpling. Can't see Mum, so I dump my stuff. Just enough time to make tea and butter her up. What time do you call this? I don't reply. Just act surprised and close my eyes to get licked. But the licks don't come. I stand struck dumb, count down from 5 to 1. Then I slowly open my eyes. To my surprise, I stand dressed smart. I'm now 21. Well done, son. Mum gives me a hug. Young man grown up, graduated and done. She wears the best clothes and I don't suppose she knows her son owes the man 10 grand for fun. But right now it don't matter. As she sat chatting with Jess's mum and dad over a cold platter. They're all laughing how we're still together as we sit to the side with their wine, they get leathered. She looks amazing, better than I ever remember in those lessons when she drove me crazy. She looks at me, a little nod for maybe it's time that we should tell him that we're having a baby. Open my eyes, I'm 29. My 8-year-old son wants to learn how to rhyme. Standing at the foot of our bed and off the top of his head he spits a flow showing perfect time. You know that deserves a smile. Okay, let's get dressed, brush your teeth and we'll work on style. Get your clothes on and don't forget your vest, lad. And even though I know that he won't, he's like, yes, Dad. A cup of tea in my mug that says, best dad. More rhymes in the house, that'd be driving Jess mad. She just smiles as she sips her tea, and as a tickle her feet, he comes back with his best pad. All right, first thing, you must observe the time. A good flow is like a fossil, it preserves the time. And the only thing of worth you can learn from mine is that the spaces between words deserve to shine. You gotta find your own style, son, and if the flow feels right to you, the rhyme's done. Sometimes looking back in time is good, because some things don't change as you find what you love. Speak what you know, breathe deep as you flow. Some people are gonna bite you to keep the light down. And they can say what they like, but when you're gripping the mic, you make sure that you're right for right now. You know what?
Wow. Can't even say anything.
Interestingly enough, like if you catch like the last second of that, you see a very young Inuit Ellams come back to the stage. And I feel like I heard Joshua Idahen from the audience because I know that laugh all too well. But I say this to say, man, there's a lot of history, not only in the poem, but also in that scene of that time that you like, you feel like spoken word was like being, if you heard the rapture of the audience, it's very vibrant in there. Polarbear is in my kind of like, I feel like my top 3 storytellers in this scene. And it's such a pivotal role as a storyteller in like literally bringing you front, back, center, everything. So I smiled. Yeah, you own this smile thing. Like you own this smile thing with no business. Because anytime I talk, you always talk about smiling. But when you sent your selection in, I actually did smile because I'm like, oh, this poem really lives on. Do you know what I mean? This poem lives on, and because I know when I access this poem, so how many years later that you're accessing this poem, how many years down the line someone else is going to access it. Like it literally lives on, lives on, lives on. What are your standout things from Dumpling?
It is a storytelling. I find it so interesting how he just starts. The beginning, how he just starts with 15. Like you start with a number, we know how old he is, we can picture him at that age. Straight away, the imagery there is in your head. It's so smart. And then it just doesn't let go. For 5 minutes, like this poem is 5 minutes long. And it just runs through. Like 5-minute poems are normally too long, in my opinion. It's very difficult to hold a whole audience's attention for that long. But he does it here in a way that like I do envy. Because I make very short poems for performance.
I feel like what holds, if we're talking performance and we're not talking story, the performance in that poem, one, he's holding that mic in one hand. It's not on the stand or wherever it is, which now means it gives him the freedom to move left, right, center, off stage, on stage if he wants to. The pacing of how he's reading, because in some ways he's just reeling through like words, right? And it slows down and it stops. It gives room for audience to react and they laugh or whatever it is. Because the hat, there's always a gesture with the hat as well. There's a lot that's happening.
So much.
There's so much that's happening in a physical capacity that I don't know if it's just like a tick for him, like if he's just doing it for random sake, or if there's stuff that he's intentionally doing. We won't know unless we have a conversation with him type thing. But those things help those 5 minutes to just like... Because you're just enamored. You're just like, where's this story going? But also, are you going to walk off stage? Like, what's going on here type thing? Da-da-da-da-da-da. When it comes to a type of performance like that, how does that work with you?
I relate to this so much. I remember when someone called Bogdan Piasecki.
Of course, Hotep Bogdan.
Big writer in the world, in my opinion. He, after hearing me and spending a bit of time with me, was like, you should check this poem out. And I went home and I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, he knows exactly what, like, Polarbear knows what he's doing and Bogdan knows exactly what I need to be watching and learning from. So, because I was, again, like, not that I copied Polarbear, but I felt like that I was watching myself sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, this is the storytelling that I do. Like, I waffle on. When I write, I do like put in certain key things that I should be doing. Like in little asterisks, like, this is when you start counting on your hands, or this is when you, leave a pause or point to something, or So my actions are always in there. I don't know if Polarbear is just, I could see him just being like, nope, it is what it is when I perform it. Whatever happens, happens. But me, I'm like meticulous. I like to plan it out. But just even then watching him move the way he does, I'm like, oh my days, this is what I want. And this is what I'm doing. And seeing it actually happen in work gives me way more license and confidence to like keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember your question, but that's just...
No. I think I covered it. I think I really appreciate that you brought this. It was like almost like a trip down memory lane in watching that and just being like, yeah, man, that we should never lose the story.
Absolutely.
And I think it's one of those things that kind of makes spoken word like special because it gives absolute room for story in that sense, you know, when it's been performed in that way. So yeah, thank you for kind of bringing that, man. I appreciate that. A moment that you're proud of, and you don't have long to talk about it.
Okay. A moment that I am proud of. That means I don't have long to think about it.
To think, out to talk. So you catch it. Soak it.
I'm really proud of. I performed at Westminster Abbey in November 2024.
That's what's up.
It was really nice. I'm not like into I'm not into big buildings, but when I was there, it was a big audience, and I did a poem about like how I don't come from like being rich, and I don't come from like where you guys come from, because I knew what type of audience would be there at the Abbey on a weekday. I'm like, I know whose faces I'm going to be looking at, and I'm going to speak to them. And I love how I was myself. I didn't dress up because I didn't think I needed to, but everyone else was like dressed really nice, which is great. But I was just like, no, like I really am just me right now. Like me, if this was me 1 year ago, I wouldn't be, I would have felt I would have been so uncomfortable, but I was so me.
Yeah.
And I felt like I did so well. Even if no one else did, I know myself, I was just so content. And that night I was really proud of myself. And I was like, yeah, that felt right and perfect. Like, yeah.
While you're on that, super quick, before I get to this last point, how do you physically prepare for an audience that you know are going to look completely different to you?
It's a great question. I think, I don't know if you can. I think I just went in. No, you don't. You know what you do? You invite friends. You invite people who they know who you are. Familiar faces in the crowd. I think I had 4 people that I knew, 5 people. And then I just kind of saw people that I also knew. And then that kind of grounds you. I think if there was no one there that I knew, and the people performing were amazing. Cecilia Knapp was one of the performers as well, who knows me very well. So I just felt like I could do nothing but be myself.
Yeah.
Because there were a few people there who could ground me. And there was no way that, you know, I would be anything but the comfortable person that I am around these people. Never mind, I think there was like 400 people there to watch. Didn't care about them. I cared about the 4 or 5 people who knew me and like know my work. And I'm like, they see what I'm doing. And I'm like, and we're just so happy and they're so supportive. So, yeah.
What are you currently reading or listening to right now?
Right now, this is going to be so obscure. I'm reading a play my friend sent me. It doesn't exist. It's just in a Word document.
We've been a good friend.
I'm being a great, but because the friend is an amazing writer.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the title, but I don't want to say the title because it's not. It'll come out when it comes out. Yeah. It's such a good play. I just finished it on the train here.
Yeah.
I kept I did that thing where I was scrolling and then it stopped and I was like, no, like I wanted to keep scrolling. I'm like, where's the next page? Where's the? And I can't wait to talk to them about it because it's like that. I'm just reading a lot of plays right now, and that one was top tier. And I'm like, God, this needs to exist. There's a whole set. All these characters are so well thought out. I'm just reading plays. I know it's a poetry thing, but I'm reading so many plays right now.
No, I'm here for it.
I read Zia Ahmed, who is a poet. Wrote a play a few years ago called I Want to Be Yours. Really good. If you can get your hands on that, for anyone listening, great play. Directed by Anna Himali, who I am in constant contact with and is an amazing like director and dramaturg. So yeah, I'm in my little play bag right now, but I feel like that's informing my writing in a different way.
Nice.
And kind of bringing story back and performance back. And
that's another discussion, but I appreciate you saying that, because it's like how other genres influence the current genre that you're writing in.
Absolutely. But even like, for example, I never knew that you wrote a play. Like, you've got a big play. Like, that was so sick. And that I read when I was at Arvin, actually. Someone was like, yeah, this is by Yomi. And I'm like, this is a play. What's he doing? And they were like, yeah, he's great at, like, I know. That's amazing.
The thing I was Colt, and the interesting thing with Colt was I was trying my hardest not to write one long poem. Because that's often that's often like, if you're coming from like a poetry background and you kind of go into play, the last thing you want to do is write one long poem. Even though you feel like it's different characters, it can often come across as one long poem. So it's the first idea that you got different characters in there. And I appreciate you reading it as well.
No, absolutely.
Yo, I am very excited for what this future holds, Zaki, man. Like, I know that I gist with you a lot. It's funny, but deep down, there's so much love in knowing that you're held by beautiful people who really want you to just thrive in the work you're doing. And I look forward to what that is, and I'm very much looking forward to this body of work as well, man. Thank you for trekking.
Oh, always.
From Birmingham.
It's not that bad.
The folks them.
Yeah, it's good.
You know what I mean? From love.
Yes,
and that.
0121.
Do you know what I mean? 0121. And and until next time, my friend.
Thank you very much. Yeah, until the next time.
Thank you for engaging and tuning in to this episode of Apples and Snakes, the podcast hosted by me, Yomi Shode. If you like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, please make sure you subscribe for either DSPs, Spotify, Apple. Make sure you tune in on us on YouTube and subscribe. Stay. We've got plenty more stories to go. We don't want to lose you just yet. Big love.